Hello and welcome to another edition of Jojo's Big Frank and Beans, Central Virginia sci-fi pop culture comic book shop chat. I am a host, Big, and to my left,
all right, a-host.
we're bringing that
Frank.
back.
Frank here in the middle, and then to Big's right
is Bean.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my right.
It is your right.
I guess if we're in a circle.
I mean, we are.
We're
Everything's a circle, man.
Everything's a circle.
Everything's a circle.
It all comes together, man.
You complete me.
Everything's a circle.
What's going on, fellas?
Come on now. The camera comes on and you go silent. You were just spouting off every story you could tell.
When
When you first got here.
They were traffic stories about how I was having issues making it here. But it really wasn't that bad this time. If I could make it out the door, that is.
That is the first step.
Yeah, and then I left the house and...
It started even before you got on the road?
Oh, yeah. It sure did. I left the house and I get to the gas station to get some fuel and some Mentos.
The fresh maker.
The fresh maker.
Mm-hmm.
They should give us money. Anyway.
They should. We got to sing the jingle, though.
Do they have a jingle?
Yeah. Mentos is fresh and full of life. Ding. And you gotta like ding, sparkle.
He doesn't even eat Mentos.
I don't.
And he knows their jingle.
I think that was their jingle like 30 years ago. I haven't heard a Mentos jingle in a long time.
I
don't think they do
remember.
commercials.
Oh, I've seen the commercials.
Oh, really?
But the Foo Fighters made fun of their commercial in their video.
Oh, that's
Remember how he
right.
goes with his smile and...
You mean kind of like what I just did?
Yeah.
Exactly
That's
like
how
what you just did.
That's how their commercial is, and it's like, you can tell it's not made in America. That dude was foreign.
He was too happy to be in the U.S.
It was so no U.S. people smile like that over Mentos. Nobody. So it was like, it seemed like it was like Italian or something.
You're right.
Like
you eat Mentos all the time. You don't smile as big as that when you eat them.
So anyway, I go to buy my Mentos, and I don't have my wallet with me.
I think you need that.
Yeah. There was another option. There was this black dude out by the garbage.
So you were going to sell yourself.
I could have sold myself to that guy.
For Mentos?
For fuel and Mentos.
Fuel and Mentos.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better, I guess. You could have sold yourself for fuel, Mentos, and crack.
For crack, exactly. Anyway, I just went home instead.
That's probably
move.
a better idea.
And then I just got the wallet. And that was it. And then I made it here.
Have you all ever heard of Chickahominy Day?
Chickahominy Day.
I've heard Chickahominy.
So
I heard of the river.
I live off of Chickahominy Road,
Mm-hmm.
and the first Saturday of October they have something called Chickahominy Day, and I have never seen like a legit sign for it, like a real sign, like the town of Toano where I live saying like, hey, don't forget Chickahominy Day, and they have like the police department and fire trucks, and they drive down Chickahominy Road. So they do that early in the morning. So today was Chickahominy Day.
Okay.
So I've only
You
lived...
should have told me yesterday, and then I could have prepared and celebrated Chickahominy Day. But now I'm just fucked. But so thank you.
Well...
It's still Chickahominy Day, though, right?
It is. And people are still
celebrate?
partying right now on that road.
See?
I mean, people legit
What are we doing here?
party. We should be doing the podcast live on the road.
On Chickahominy Day. That's right.
Didn't you have like a bunch of people partying like outside some other time at your house? Like,
It happens every now and then, but this is like a legit, like the entire road. And Chickahominy Road is long. It's real long. And
That's what she said.
so in the morning, the fire department and like the police roll through, and it's all like a parade, right? And this is like right down the street from my house. Like my road is off of Chickahominy Road. After that all goes through, people throw down like huge barbecues, like and
Damn.
it's like every house on the road. And then as they're barbecuing, people just get on their four-wheelers or in their cars and they just burn rubber down Chickahominy Road. I mean, when I left to come here, there had to be like 10 black streaks, probably like 20, 30 feet long.
This happened last year
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
That's
So-
what I was
Yeah.
you told me last year about this.
Yep.
I knew this was familiar.
So I found out this morning, like I walked out of my house and I heard all the music and the people going crazy, and I was like, nope, turn right back in. Went inside my house, shut the door. I was like, looks like I'm staying inside today. I'm not participating in this.
When I was a kid, Chickahominy used to have somewhere in Chickahominy used to have this water park, and they had this zip line that was I was a little kid. I was not even big enough. I was not tall enough to ride on the zip line. I was pissed.
I remember that camp. The camp
Camp
Chickahominy.
I have no idea what it was or where it was. I know it was
It's on the-
Chickahominy somewhere.
It's on the Chickahominy River.
Yeah, and
It's their campground.
it had a big zip line, and I just remember it being awesome there. And I only went like once, and I never got to ride the zip line, and I think I'm
Never went
scarred
back.
for life now.
Never went back.
I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't
I'm
know.
sure it's still there. And I bet you're even big enough to ride the zip line now.
It might be too big.
The zip line now is probably like a 15-foot thing that goes into like a little puddle. I remember the fucking thing being this massive lake, and the zip line was like fucking 50 fucking foot up in the air. It was fast and
furious.
furious. So I'm sure it's not like that.
Well, I
Anymore.
don't think the Chickahominy River is all that big, so it's probably smaller than you remember right there.
Yeah, it's like things from the 80s movies specifically that kicked ass,
Mm-hmm.
and then you rewatch them now, and you have no idea.
You mean things like Jean-Claude Van Damme or something like that?
Yeah, like pretty much every one of his movies, and there's just a ton of things that were awesome back then, and then you watch them now, and it's like, what the fuck? There used to be this movie called No Retreat, No Surrender,
I
and
don't remember that.
that movie was great. It was like karate and shit, and I was like into karate when I was a kid, and I watched that movie all the time when I was a kid. I remember when it was on, I was watching it. And I tried to rewatch that movie.
Not so much.
It's not
huh?
that good.
Dude.
It didn't live up to your expectations.
Fucking Nicolas Cage would not be in this movie.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Yeah, he's probably signed up to make a remake with Bruce Willis right now.
Not this movie. It's just so bad. Like it's I remember as a kid they show like the music montage where he's working out and getting ready for the fight and running, and like they do in every Rocky movie and stuff, and he was doing this at a playground, and I remember like him doing like push-ups and like shit and all this athletic stuff and things on the playground, and
Was he playing on the monkey bars?
I don't really remember like what happened, because the second time I watched it, I think I blocked it from my memory because it was like very homosexual.
Whoa.
When I watched it again, like everything about it was screaming like gay for some reason, and I don't know why, but I had to stop watching it. I was like, whoa, nope, no more. I'm going to take my memories of what this movie used to be and keep them.
That's funny that you mentioned the Rocky montage. I just watched on Netflix. They have a show that's called something about movie cliches. The cliches of Hollywood, I think it is, and it's hosted by Rob Lowe. And they go through all, every cliche you can think of.
Awesome.
And one of them was the montage, and they spoke about Rocky in particular, and I forget the statistics too. So this is the worst thing to bring up because we didn't plan for this, but they said something like 38 minutes of that movie is nothing but montage. But if you start thinking about it, when he's training, that's montage, and then like the middle part, the main part of the fight is montage.
The movie's only like an hour and a half long.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's a
38 minutes of it.
Yeah, when he boxes, you see one round. Actually, you see two. They show like pretty much the first round, and then they show the music montage through round 3, 4, 5, 12.
Right, up to the end.
And then it gets like to round 14 and 15, and then they stop the music. They fade it out, and says something about if it bleeds, we can kill it. Oh, wait, that's the wrong movie.
That's number 4. But it doesn't matter because they all fit the same formula.
It's not even
Stallone found that formula, and he's just like, do it again. He's black this time. Do it again. He's Russian this time.
See if we can get the music up to an hour and 38 minutes. That way I won't have to speak, ever. Just a couple grunts. Yeah, so that's terrible. 38 whole minutes. Half the movie.
You ought to watch that Netflix show about the cliches.
That sounds pretty good.
It is.
That sounds very interesting.
There's actually a bunch that I didn't really pick up on too, and I think I pick up on a lot of them.
Is that something new that just came out, or?
I'm not sure. I just discovered it. It might have been there a while. I don't know.
Like your crabs. Sorry.
What?
He said he just discovered them, but they might have been there a while. He doesn't know.
Okay.
Ben probably doesn't have crabs.
Yeah, he probably just hasn't gone to the doctor yet.
Ah. So should we get to some like on the rundown?
Maybe that's a good idea.
Did y'all hear about the Super Mario Brothers? I think it's a movie that's coming out.
I think it's an animated movie.
Yep, animated movie.
All I hear about is Chris Pratt being Mario. And there's some other big names in there too, isn't there?
It's me, Star-Lord. I just can't see it. I can't picture it.
I know there was somebody upset because he's not Italian, so they were upset that Chris Pratt is going to play Mario.
So they're going to have him as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Luigi's going to be Charlie Day, Bowser's going to be Black Jack, or Jack Black, I mean. Got him backwards. Black Jack. Card game, not a person. Donkey Kong is going to be Seth Rogen, which I thought that'd be kind of cool. As long as he does the Seth Rogen laugh. You know how he has like that signature laugh.
Does Kong even talk or anything?
I guess he will in this. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, who would I like to see, right? You know, there's all this commotion about who's going to be in it. And I was like, man, what if we had like James Gandolfini as Mario?
He
died big.
It doesn't mean he can't be Mario in a previous life.
This is true. Does it?
They could have his son like they did in the new movie.
Dude, did you watch that?
I was highly disappointed in that.
You were the characters were, they did a great job casting for that movie.
I agree with you absolutely.
Oh my God. Like
it was fantastic. It was a fantastic trip down nostalgia lane. but it wasn't much of a story.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It kind of reminded me of the El Camino.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was.
that's what that was.
It
to me.
was
Like, just another episode.
another episode to make you feel nostalgic for the show.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't even have been a good episode of the show. I mean, honestly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they from like all the crap that happened, like through the whole Sopranos show, they talk about like the past a lot, and they just didn't. They didn't like do enough, like in the past. Like,
Right. I wanted to see young Tony Soprano do the shit that makes him Tony Soprano. You know what I mean?
Like even the description of the movie describes it on the Fire Stick. It says young Tony Soprano growing up in the like most roughest times in Newark, and he was hardly in it. And
it was more the story of his father and his father's what was his brother or something.
Yeah, Tony's uncle Dickie, and just told about Dickie and his dad. What's his name? Johnny, and then their brother, freaking Junior. Jesus, freaking that dude played.
No Paulie?
He played. Oh yeah, he was in it, dude.
You gotta have a Paulie in The Sopranos.
Man, all of the characters were just like, I mean, exactly like the younger version of them.
And
like
I couldn't agree more.
Tony's mom, holy crap! Like Jesus.
Yep.
Like
she was Jesus?
She thought she was. But, I mean, she was exactly like she was from The Sopranos. I mean, as soon as Dickie got killed and the lady that was standing next to her said something about they found some pills in his pocket, and they were, like, pills for, like, your head to make you be able to sleep, or I guess it was probably the equivalent of, like, Ativan or not Adderall, like maybe something like that. And as soon as the lady said something to Tony's mom about it, she was like, she said, "Oh yeah, that's terrible." She was like, "I always thought Dickie used to be so strong," and they were for her. They were her pills that Dickie was getting for her. And at his funeral,
you dirty rat.
I mean, she's horrible, just like Tony's mom. I mean, that was. I almost watched it again just to see the characters, because the story was not great.
No,
it was like El Camino. It was a disappointment.
I agree completely. The casting was just unbelievable. I mean, just with James Gandolfini's son, I mean, you could not go wrong.
The way he looked at fucking people, like the way Tony did, like I mean, Tony wouldn't like have eye contact with people, but then when he did, it's like, motherfucker,
you're gonna die now.
And he looked just like that.
Yeah,
like even his fucking clothes, like fit like they fit Tony.
Well, even like I was noticing,
fucking crazy,
just the way his stature, like. He doesn't really have a neck, and his head is leaned forward. You know, and it's just the way he's built. You know,
yeah.
But it's exactly the way Tony Soprano was.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, not excellent because the story sucked.
I mean, yeah, it was. That part was excellent.
The casting.
The casting is great.
Yes.
So, who would y'all like to see as Mario?
Back to the rundown.
Oh, yeah, the stuff we meant to talk about.
Actually, I don't know. It still kind of ties in.
It does. Oh.
I think Tony Soprano's son should be Mario. He's Italian.
I mean,
there you go.
Besides, they would have to bleep out a lot because it would be a cartoon. I think he would be great.
How about Al Pacino? Then you could have, I'm a Mario.
That would be great.
So who's going to be the sidekick then? Luigi.
Who would Luigi be?
How about Joe Pesci? You talking to me? You talking to me?
Luigi's tall and skinny. Mario's short and fat. Like, you can't.
Well, Mario is not Star-Lord. If they get that
This
kind of
is
latitude,
true.
I can make Joe Pesci whoever the fuck I want him to be.
This is very true. If they can make Doogie Howser a girl, then you can do whatever you want to do too.
What?
Yeah.
They made Doogie Howser a girl.
No, he's just gay. He's not a girl.
Well, he's yeah, it's a girl. It's a Hawaiian girl now.
Oh, there's a new Doogie Howser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, Doogie didn't go and have the operation.
It's like Doogie in Hawaii or something.
It is. It's in Hawaii.
Or female Doogie in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's
Did
called.
they call her Doogie?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's a horrible name for a girl.
like the trailer or the commercial that I saw for it. It says, I think they say her name, like meet Doctor blah blah blah, and the guy's like, she's a doctor, she's so young, and she's the dude that's talking says, or the dude that works with her that's introducing, he says, she's super young, just like Doogie, just like the Doogie Howser from the 80s, and so we call her Doogie, and that was the commercial. Okay.
Ah.
They explained.
They explained why their show sucks in a line of dialogue.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure it sucks too.
They seem to be rebooting like all these
Because they have nothing to do.
all
They have
these things
Turner and Hooch has a show. And that looks horrible.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't make Turner or Hooch a female though.
And that's why the show will fail.
So who would you put for Peach? Princess Peach, I think her name is.
Does she speak ever? I
No,
don't know if I've
she's
heard her
just-
speak.
She's just pink and blonde. So you can pick someone who's pink and blonde.
Well, I was
Damn.
thinking I think her name is like Margaret Robbie. So she's Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that voice I feel like would be a good Peach voice if she
What
could.
voice do you mean? You mean her
Her
Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn
Her
voice.
New Jersey
I don't even-
accent?
I don't even know what she sounds like besides.
She doesn't sound like that like in real life. She might even actually be British or something.
I
don't
think she is. I think she's Australian. That's what it is.
Ah,
I think.
okay.
I think. I don't fucking know.
But you want her to do the New Jersey accent.
I think that would be good.
Who did they cast at? Who was the real casting?
Peach was Anya Taylor-Joy.
I have no idea who that is.
Anya
That's
Taylor-Joy.
the girl from the chess show.
What chess show?
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah. Queen's Gambit.
Oh,
That's her.
that's a good show.
I remember that being good, and now I can't
Yes.
remember why it was good. I don't remember her. I remember I watched the show and
Remember
I
she-
really loved it.
She saw the chessboard on the ceiling when she took her green pills. Lots of green pills or blue ones,
Mhm.
and she was in an orphanage with the black girl who told her about the green pills, and she was playing against the Russians, and there was she joined the chess club, and these
Yeah.
3 dudes were like, "You're a chick, what are you doing here?" And
I remember
she
that.
stomped them, and
I just don't remember what what she looks like. Like I have to see
she
a
looks
picture.
kind of weird. She has a very odd look to her.
Red hair. I think she had red hair in there.
I think, but her hair could be purple and it would fit her.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if her hair was purple and fucking blue and crazy rainbow colors and shit, 'cause she's weird looking.
Well, I'll say Alice Eve.
What?
I'll say Alice Eve for Princess Peach. That'll be my pick. She's pink and blonde.
No comment. No comment.
I wouldn't even even thinking about that, Big.
No comment.
That's terrible.
So y'all haven't seen Squid Games that's on Netflix?
No.
It's
No.
number one on
No.
Netflix. So
You were saying it's worth a lot of money.
this is taking the world by storm, and I mean it's causing so many problems.
Is it like
so-
The Running Man?
How is a Netflix show causing problems?
I'm gonna tell you. So this show is so popular. I think it's like 9 episodes. It's either 9 or 10. So this is, I think it's like Korean based, and over in Korea there is an internet provider that they're having to upgrade all of their equipment because there's so many people watching this show that they are suing Netflix
For
to-
not being able to keep
to,
up?
to recoup the money of them for upgrading their servers and stuff. There is a portion in the show where they get these cards, and when you flip over the card, there's a number on the back. Well, apparently, there's 2 different numbers that they show on cards. It's the same card on one side, but different number on the others. And these are real numbers, like 8675309 type thing. And people are calling it. Like one person got over 1,000 phone calls asking if they can be in this game, the Squid Games. And people have given them like 1 million yen to like for their number.
So what is that, like $3?
Maybe like 5. But they're like trying to buy these numbers from people. So the show came out first, and it got so popular that all these people are calling these numbers. So now they're backtracking and buying them. You would think they would do a little bit more research before they just throw some random numbers
So
out.
this is a legit game show. So this is like Jeopardy for Koreans or something.
No, so it is it's like a series. So what it's kind of about is there's a bunch of these people that are gamblers and they're down on their luck. Well, there's like a secret society that says, hey, you've got a problem, you're super in debt, I have a game that you can participate in, and you'll have enough money to pay off your debt and then some if you win the game. It's a series of games. So they tell them they're going to meet them somewhere. They get in a van, they knock them out, and they take them to like this secret island, and they play like these series. There's 6 games, and it starts out with 400 people. Well, I think the winning pot ends up being like 50 billion yen or whatever it is. I mean, it's just a boatload of money.
Why they're suing Netflix. They're going to have to pay the winner of their show.
So that's what you win, but if you lose the game, you die. That's the consequence of losing. And the games are a bunch of games from like your childhood. Like the first game they play is red light, green light, and if you get caught in the red light, you get shot. Like moving in the red light, like it's crazy, and like every and so every
Said, stop, motherfucker! Pow!
So they eventually find out that there's like a snipers that shoot them in the head, like if they get caught. So they eventually find out that each time somebody dies, they put more money into it's like a piggy bank, like this giant piggy bank. So when they find out that every time somebody dies, it adds cash to the piggy bank, it starts like a riot, right? People are trying to kill other people. And
It's like The Running Man.
yeah, exactly. Or like Hunger
Doesn't sound
Games.
as good.
Or like Hunger Games or
Is it
something
good?
like that. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is kind of stupid. I just watched like the first 10 or 15 minutes, but like after I watched the first episode, I had to watch the second, and then I had to watch the third, and then I had to go through because I wanted to see who won at the end. And it does very well of talking about like, it introduced the characters. It kind of gives you like their background stories. You kind of feel for the people over time. Kind of reminds me of Walking Dead.
Hmm.
It was kind of that type of feel, like everybody's fighting for their life.
Is it in English?
It is, but I can't. It's hard to tell if
Uh-oh.
it's
Oh,
hard,
God.
it's hard to tell if they're actually speaking English, but it does a great job.
What does that mean? You can't understand them?
No, like their mouth movement and what.
Oh, so
What's
it's
actually
dubbed.
said.
It's
Dubbed.
English
Yeah.
dubbed.
Yeah, and it's funny because you eventually get to a part where there's a bunch of like rich white guys in there, and you can obviously tell that they're all speaking English.
Want some rice?
Right? But some of the other guys in it, and I think it's based out of like South Korea or North Korea or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like, there's a couple moments where you're like, is his mouth matching the words that are coming
Yeah,
out?
not so much.
That dude stopped speaking like 3 seconds ago. He's still talking about his dog.
If you haven't watched it, I encourage it. I mean, it is bloody. It's gory. You're going to see people get their brains shot out, point blank.
And this is a real show. Like,
It's
a legitimate game show. Like,
it's not.
It's fiction.
Yeah,
okay, so it's
they can't legally do that, but
it's in fucking Korea. If it's in North Korea, they're fucking communists. They can do what the fuck they want. But Netflix ain't gonna show it. Nobody would show it.
so they first start out with like 450 people, and people don't. When they sign up for it, they don't really understand. Like, they understand there's games involved. They understand that they will be eliminated from the game, but they don't know how they're gonna. You think you just drop out. They send you.
You
home
are
or
the
something
weakest
like that.
link.
No, they get eliminated. Like,
Here's
like
a grenade. Boom.
it is crazy, and there's a whole subplot to it. And it's pretty neat.
And what's it called?
It's called Squid Games.
Squid Game.
Yep.
I will have to check that out. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I don't do well with shows that are dubbed. I get distracted, and it's never good.
Like I said, like there's a couple parts where you're kind of like, man, is it really? Like, and you're not really sure. So they do a really good job of it. It's not like Bruce Lee, old school Bruce
Godzilla.
Lee movie, or something like that.
Stop. Right now. Or else.
Or else what?
So bad.
But check it out. I encourage it.
All right.
Was that on the rundown?
No, it wasn't on the
No.
rundown.
Holy crap.
I know something that is on the rundown.
Are you sure?
I think it is.
What is it?
It's big time.
It's big time. So we were talking about reboots earlier. They're doing a reboot of Babylon 5. Did y'all ever watch Babylon 5?
I know I've seen it. I couldn't tell you a single character's name or why Babylon 5 is significant.
Had the white dude as the captain with blonde hair, right? That dude.
I think so, yeah.
I think I remember that dude who was captain. And then I think there was some type of creature that had like a bony, like,
He's a Klingon.
brow thing.
And the captain was Kirk. And that guy's Klingon.
That was a different,
Oh.
different, same but different.
Yes.
Same but different.
That was
Same but
Babylon 6.
Same 4.5, 4.5. Yeah.
So I didn't watch it either when it came out in 1993. I mean, I probably saw a couple episodes, but it was not enough. I like Star Trek and stuff like that. I've probably seen every episode. Babylon 5, no, it didn't grab me.
That was in 93?
1993 is when it first came out.
Good God.
Yep. So they're doing the reboot.
Yeah, you're old as shit.
So the CW network is actually what it's going to be on.
Of course.
And they're not doing a reboot. They're calling it From the Ground Up reboot. So a lot of the famous characters from the original Babylon 5 have passed away. Some of the ones that are still alive are getting asked, like, are they going to come back? And it doesn't sound like they're doing, a full reboot. They're all new characters and everything. But I thought it was pretty noteworthy that that they were doing one of these. They're having the same creator, Michael. I'm gonna butcher his name just like everybody else's. Stasinski. He's probably Polish.
If there's a ski at the end, definitely.
So I guess apparently it's going to be done by Warner Brothers Television, and yeah, it's going to be a whole new show. They didn't have a real release date. They said possibly 2021. So they better, if they're going to do it, they better chop to it.
If it's CW, it's probably the teenage soap opera version of Babylon 5. It's going to be why did Star Pilot 1 cheat on Star Pilot 2?
Oh, no.
Maybe it's going to be like a younger version of it. You know, like the main crew, it's going to be them as a kid, and now they grew up, you know, in this Starfleet or whatever.
Maybe 30 years from now, they'll reboot it again, and I might watch that one.
I still won't watch it then. I still won't watch it then. So Baltimore Comic-Con's coming up October 22nd to the 24th.
Yeah, too bad it's all sold out.
Is it?
That's what all those tickets are all sold out, dude.
There was like a shit ton of people that was going to be there. Like, I was looking at the list, and like the special guests was like 500 people. Like,
Yeah, but all the ones you'd want to see are all sold out.
of course.
Yeah, so the big names were Frank Miller, Joe Cudessa, and Brian Vaughn. And when I looked on there, you could still get tickets to go in, but the tickets for them
Right.
were sold out. So all the big names were sold out, but they had, 30, 40 special guests on there. A lot of them I didn't know. But those three guys are pretty big. Like, I took a couple notes down. Like Frank Miller, I didn't realize he was a writer, an artist, a screenwriter, a film director, and a movie producer. He did Daredevil, Born Again, Elektra, Lives Again, The Dark Knight Returns, Sin City, 300.
Good
That
God.
was a cool movie. And I read all those, and I was like, man, I didn't realize he did all these. And then I got to and I was like, yeah, he's pretty good. I got to the end, and it was like, oh, yeah, he also wrote the scripts for RoboCop 2 and 3. And I was like, man, he lost his luster.
They should have left those
Off the list.
off the list.
Well, only if he had something to do with RoboCop 1.
Yeah, RoboCop
Exactly.
1 would have been nice, but yeah, don't mention RoboCop at all. Man, he had such a good list.
Or just put, and some RoboCop scripts.
Yeah.
Don't be very vague about it.
Or name that one first,
Right, and
then name the good things that happened.
There
So
you
you're
go.
not left with the thought of whoever that guy is did fucking RoboCop 2 and 3.
Frank
I don't want
Miller.
to see his fucking... I'm glad he's sold out. Man, I sure wished I would have kept my RoboCop comic book.
your RoboCop 3 comic book.
God.
So Joe Cudessa, I mean, this guy was big. You know, and I'm into movies and I like comics and stuff, but you know, I don't know every single detail. I mean, this dude was Marvel's chief editor from 2000 to 2010, so he did it for 10 years. I mean, executive producer on Marvel's Shields of Agent. He did Daredevil, Jessica Jones, which are on Netflix. I mean, this guy is just, he was creative lead on Avengers, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, that dude's huge. You know, Brian Vaughn. And now I see why you had to pay, like, you could get like a gold package. Like, it was like $300 or $400 to see some of these guys.
Jesus.
Brian Vaughn, he co-wrote, he's the co-creator of Saga Y, which I'd never heard of that one. The Last Man, Runaways, Pride of Baghdad, The Hood, The Escapist, The Private Eye, and he also wrote a bunch of the high Marvel profile characters like Spider-Man, Captain America, X-Men. Like, the dude was huge as well. Doctor Strange, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Maybe I should have left that one out too.
I was getting ready to say, man, their lists are so good, except for the end.
But and don't forget that next weekend, actually, I think it starts on Thursday, they're doing the New York Comic-Con. So I talked about it a couple weeks ago. It had been so long, I figured I'd bring it up. Next Thursday, New York, which it seems like they're having like a Star Trek theme. I don't know about that one. The Baltimore one seems to be a lot better. So I always tried to bring in some big-time tech news because I'm a tech nerd. And I found out about Amazon's, I want to call it like a drone kind of, but it's called Astro, and it's a home monitoring system. And the way that this actually got me was, so it's not a flying drone. It has 2 wheels or whatever and a screen, and it's very interactive. But the way that it got me, it was like, Astro can get you a beer. And I'm like, holy shit, they're making robots that can go to the fridge and get you a beer? Not quite. It has 2 cup holders in the back, so it will wheel your beer around for you. But it's
While
not
it's getting warm.
but it's not gonna go get it for you. So for a low, very high price of $1,500, you can have your own Astro and get your own beer.
Is he gray? And will he go, oh, George?
Oh, George, I was getting ready to say, if they made it look like Astro, then maybe it would be worth it.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
But I can get up and get my own beer and set it on that thing.
But can you make it warm while it drives around the room until you're ready to drink it?
Probably.
I could put it in my car and drive around until it gets warm.
You get arrested for that.
Well, not unless I open it.
No, sir, officer, it's not open. I was only trying to make it warm.
This is not for drinking. What are you talking about? Lord.
And that's it for big time news.
No more big time.
No.
That's it for big time?
Mm-hmm.
That was like little time.
Next time I will add more.
It's not
Maybe we
the
should
size
call
of your time that matters, Frankie. It's how you use it.
That's right. Used your little time very big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up next on the rundown?
Doom Patrol.
The Doom Patrol that I still have not watched because I tried to watch a couple episodes over here last weekend, but without watching the prior episodes.
Yeah, you kind of need to watch the prior episodes.
I mean,
that's kind of like
that show is
starting on episode 3.
2 or 3, yeah. With what movie? What show
that
was
was
that?
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch that one. But I think maybe Doom Patrol even more so than the WandaVision. You got to start with episode 1.
You definitely have to see how I call him Frankenstein. I can't remember his name. How he
Robot Man.
the
Yeah.
Tin Man thing.
How he gets to be the way he is. That's one of the
It's all about
coolest
the
parts.
Chiefs. Yeah. So did you watch it?
I haven't watched all of them, but I did watch the first episode.
The first episode of season 3 or the first episode of season 1?
I think that was season 1. I thought. Where
okay.
he becomes. That's the one. Yeah, isn't that the one
So
where he
the
becomes that?
The new season, excuse me, is season 3. And so there's 4 episodes out of season 3. So you watched the first episode of season 1.
Yeah. I hadn't seen any of it, so I figured I should start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
To Mikey's
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and I've seen all of season 1. I think, if I remember correctly, at the end of season 1, there's like this poo monster that climbs out of the sewer.
That sounds right.
Or something. Yeah, I mean, the show is just crazy.
It is. I love it.
It is just crazy. Like, there's no telling what's going to happen next. Like,
No, it's not grounded in reality at all. Anything can happen.
if I remember correctly, last week or week before, whenever we watched those episodes, for some reason, I think they were trying to shove a baby back up in the womb.
That was season 2, I believe.
Man,
It was just fucking
spoiler
weird.
alert! Spoiler alert,
Season-
people.
Season 3 starts off where the chief has died. So the guy in the wheelchair, Niles, has died.
I don't remember him.
It's James Bond, Timothy Dalton.
Okay. Yeah. It's been forever since I watched. When it first came out is when I watched season 1. So
Well, that's how season 3 starts, is that he is dead.
okay.
And then so they're all kind of recovering from that, and it ends up they go on this side story of these 2 aliens, a green alien and a red alien, that are here looking for Rita. And so they spend years looking for Rita, like 70 years, and they finally find them and find Rita. And the green alien who's in charge is just like, no, we don't need to kill her. It was our mission, but it's not. We don't need to do that anymore. The red one disagrees, and he kills all of them. So then they team up, the ones that survive, which is I think Dorothy and someone else. They hire these ghosts to go into the afterlife and retrieve their friends and bring them back to life, which they do.
Dude, this is a crazy show. I haven't
Then-
got anywhere
Dude,
close to that yet.
After they bring them back to life, then they start to deteriorate and become zombies.
I didn't get that far yet.
At this point, the chief's head has been resurrected by this like Scottish guy that is a really good character, and he's got all kinds of magic powers and stuff, and it's just his head, his severed head. So he resurrected his severed head because the guy knows that the chief knows a lot, and so his head is valuable.
Interesting.
So then, with the zombies are trying to, eat people's brains, and the way they get out of that is they let them eat the chief's brain, because the chief has discovered a cure in a hormone that's in your brain that cures zombie-ness or whatever. So they cure themselves by eating the chief's brain. And that's kind of where the show is now.
So
Wow.
So I turned this on. I was watching TV with my wife, and I turned it on, put it on next. And my wife's sitting there. She's like playing on her phone or whatever, Instagram, and which she does most of the time when we watch TV together. And she looks up and she goes, "This is stupid," and she gets up and walks away. And I'm like, now I know how to get rid of her when I need to.
Want to watch some Doom Patrol?
She was like, "This is stupid."
This is stupid.
It is, honestly, it is completely stupid, and that's what I love about it. Like, it is the show that is the most comic book of any show. You can love Loki all you want, love Falcon and the Winter Soldier all you want, but Doom Patrol is so much a comic book, because they just do all this dumb shit, and they don't even feel that it's necessary to explain any of it. It's just like, this is what fucking happens, and you can accept it or you can go somewhere the fuck else, and we don't care.
I think that's the way you live your life, isn't it, Ben?
That is kind of the way I live my life. So yeah, I like that show a lot.
I'll have to pick it up again next time my wife's in the room. We'll watch another episode.
New episode just came out. Want to watch it?
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely a different kind of show. And if you don't watch it from the very beginning, you'll be completely lost.
that's for sure.
You
Yes.
should start at least 2 or 3 episodes in, according to my in-laws.
I mean, I was completely lost at episode 1 of season 3. So, and I remember them dying,
Mm-hmm.
and that was in like the first 5 minutes of me watching. And I'm like, all of these people just died.
See, I didn't even cover everything, so you guys got to go and watch. There's werebutts are part of it too.
I'm sorry.
Where butts?
Like, my butt is right.
werewolf butts
Where is there?
They are butts
that turn into werewolves?
with 2 little eyes on the butt, and then the legs are really arms, and the butt crack is a mouth that opens up with all these teeth that are inside. They're werebutts.
Can you be one of these things?
I'm gonna be that for Halloween.
Be
I
a
want to
werebutt?
be a werebutt.
You are a werebutt.
I can't
You're an
do that though. Like,
you're a were ass.
whereas your ass is war.
Oh
I'm
man.
glad nobody's listening.
Did y'all? Ben, I know you didn't watch Foundation, the Apple TV TV show that just came out. Frank, did you watch it?
I have no clue what Foundation even is.
That's the one he showed us the trailer for. The
Oh yeah, it was pretty
Isaac
epic.
Asimov.
That one looked pretty epic, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I watched. There's actually 3 episodes out. It came out not this past Friday, but the Friday before, and they released 2 episodes at one time, and then this past Friday they released another one. So I watched just the first episode, and I was a little skeptical at first, but I mean, it is like Star Wars and Dune mixed together. Like it's pretty crazy. And I encourage you to watch it, because I mean if you like Star Wars, you're gonna like it. Like there's different planets that they're on, and like it starts off with like in the very beginning, somebody in like a land speeder, just like on Star Wars. Like it's kind of crazy, and there's weird animals, and but it's all it kind of revolves around this mathematician, and he can predict the future by doing the math on something. So when he starts telling people, hey, there's going to be, and he can't do it for an individual, he can only do it for like a full civilization. But when he does the math and he figures it out from like old documents or whatever, and he starts to tell like the emperor starts to say like treason, like what are you doing? You can't do this. And tries to call him out and like puts him in court, and they want to kill him because he's basically saying that their empire is doomed. And he has like a sidekick with him, that then there's a whole story about how he gets the sidekick, but it's kind of cool because he actually predicts something and nobody believes him, right? All these people are saying like, hey, you're false.
And then they all die. Told you so.
And then like something happens and like 1 million people die. And they're like, all right, well, we're not going to kill you. We're just going to banish you somewhere else. And he did the math, and that was his plan the whole time. He knew they were going to banish him to this one place, this one planet, so he can continue on his work out of like the limelight. And
so what he's putting together patterns, I guess, from history.
Yep.
And that's the math that he's okay.
Yeah, and he actually found somebody else it's a little girl that is actually better than he is, but it's like his Padawan now. He like recruits her, and they basically are like, hey, if you tell us that he is false, we're going to kill him. If you tell us that what he's saying is true, we're going to kill you.
Said that to the girl.
Yeah, said that to the girl, and she's like, well, I did the math. What he's saying is true. And she's like, what do you want me to do? Lie to you? Like, I did it. Like, this is what he's saying is right. And so that's just like the first episode that sets the stage. I'm sure for the rest, character development's pretty cool. You get the background of the little girl, where she came from, how she got there. But check it out when you get the chance. 3 episodes so far.
Who's in it? Anybody?
Man, there's a bunch of famous people, but I can't call them out off the top of my head.
You know what they were in?
No, I can't.
But we will recognize them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's kind of like a high-tech society, but I don't want to say medieval, but it's kind of like Roman Empire-ish, like the way that they hold themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like statues, like the gods have statues of themselves, and they wear like Roman outfits, and there's aliens and stuff in there, so it's kind of Star
Like
Wars,
some
Star Trek.
Stargate crap.
Yeah, it might be Babylon 5 if I actually watched it. I don't know.
Could be.
But the beginning was cool, and then I kind of faded off. I was like, man, I don't know if this is all that great. And then once they started telling me about the mathematician and how they're like, what they're trying to do to him and everything, then it kind of pulled me back in, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad.
Yeah, the trailer looked great.
Have you watched all 3 episodes?
No, just the first one. I was actually falling asleep. I knew if I would hit the second one, I would have just fallen asleep, so I just went to bed.
My problem is Apple Plus doesn't have anything on it. Like, yeah, they have this show that looks great, and they had C. I think there's still only 2 shows,
Ted Lasso?
And the morning show. But the morning show sucks.
Ted Lasso? I didn't like the morning show.
Is that the one with those 2 chicks that argue?
It has Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other one is.
That other one is Reese Witherspoon, right?
So
Okay.
it starts out with a guy, the co-anchor's a guy, and I can't. It's
It's like
famous.
the Matt Lauer story.
Yeah.
I saw it, and it was just, it's one of those things where it's so far from the way television really is that it's just like, that's...
Why did they do that?
Well, you live the television
That's ridiculous.
life. Like for me as an outsider, I'm like, that's really how it is? Wow, like that's cool.
Like, why would they do that? Like,
I don't know. The thing that got me, so on that first episode, it's the Matt Lauer story where he's accused of molesting women or something like that, and he's gotten fired. So the female anchor is then walking to the set through the newsroom, and she's going to break the news to everybody in the world. And it's like this somber moment. And so she's walking through the newsroom, and the newsroom is completely dead and quiet, and nothing's happening in the newsroom. I've been in newsrooms for 25 years.
that only happens
and
on
I've
Christmas.
never seen that ever in my life.
That happens on Christmas, and it's never quiet in there. There's just like one person. But there's still fucking noise in that in there.
It's
Wow.
But anyway, I just couldn't get past that.
I bet they do that to keep the glamour of the job. Like they
Yeah,
make
there
it.
is no glamour.
In reality, no, there's not. Like
There's none.
nobody wants to see how it really is
No.
on the set. So that's probably why they do it that way, to make it seem like Big said. Is that how it fucking really is?
Hold on.
Like,
Isn't the guy Michael Scott, Jennifer Aniston? Isn't it like Michael Scott? That's the actual.
40-year-old virgin guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him.
Okay. Michael Scott from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
he's pretty funny.
Sure.
Actually, my wife actually liked that show.
The Office.
No, well, the morning show that he's talking
Oh.
about. No, I love The Office.
I figured it was a show that was based for women, like that morning show. Figured women would probably watch that.
Should we move on to What If?
Yeah.
What if we don't?
Well, then it would be an alternate universe, because I just advanced the graphic.
Well,
Yeah, Ultron versus the Watcher. That's what they should have named it. I don't know I don't remember what the
What
name
if
was.
Ultron won?
Ah,
it was pretty cool. I really liked that one.
I finally got to see the Watcher.
When they were fighting through the different freaking like dimensions,
every
like
time
busting through.
Yeah, every time he punched him, it was like that was crazy.
That was neat.
That was.
That was way freaking cool.
You know what I thought was in the very beginning when Hawkeye came out and he had the bionic arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Bucky Barnes, right?
He's
And
got Bucky's arm.
And then I realized that the arm is actually from an Ultron figigurine. It wasn't
One
like
of the robots.
yeah. And And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
The first thing I thought when I saw his bionic arm is like, a one-armed archer? That doesn't
How's
work
that
too
shit
good.
gonna work? Like the guy in Satisfactory. You got hands, but you just can't, like, punch with them or anything. So
Yeah, how do you have a video game character that can't punch unless he has a weapon in his hand?
it's so ridiculous.
What is this?
It's a game called Satisfactory, and
And it's not satisfactory. It's unsatisfactory.
today it has been very unsatisfactory.
That's the same thing I asked Mikey. He got all pissed off, and I was like, is this satisfactory? And he was like, very unsatisfactory.
What were we talking about?
The
There's so
punching.
many bad things that happen in the Satisfactory. Oh
Yep.
yeah, punching. So if your guy doesn't have, you start off with this pretty much a taser.
Okay.
You stab it at things, and if you don't have that in your hand, you can't punch. Like, there's no punching. Like, you can't attack unless you have that. But when you have that in your hand and you attack, like every once in a while, you're gonna go like zzz, 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 and it'll throw a left. But you can't throw a left without
Something in your
the
right.
taser in the right. Yeah, so he can't punch without a weapon.
What pisses me off is that when you die and you lose your weapon and you got to go back and gather your stuff, you can't do anything to defend yourself, right?
You have to
You're
have
just like,
extras at your base. You just have to have backup gear.
It's just dumb.
That's all you have. You just have to make backup gear, or be naked and afraid and running back to your corpse or your box. So
anyways,
back to the rundown.
What if we got back to what if?
What if?
So the end was kind of cool though, because he apparently the Watcher took that vow that he can't intervene, and there were several times during that where he was tempted, right?
Yeah.
And then he realized that there's a being that's more powerful than the Watcher, which he looked like he was in pajamas before, and then he busted out in that, awesome armor at one point. But at the end, he ran into Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was like, "Are you ready to break your oath?" And I was like, "I can't wait to see what he does." And then it's the end, and I was like, "You son of a monkeys."
I did think it was very cool how they tied the Watcher into the story and everything. I don't know how they're going to top that with the next one.
I don't know. This one was probably my favorite so far.
I thought the same thing. I really like this one.
So what do we had? We had the Captain America story was the first one.
Carter.
Then we had the Black Panther as Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third one?
Was it zombies?
No, there was something before
No,
zombies.
that was when Hank Pym.
Oh, he killed all the
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one
That
a lot.
was cool.
Yep.
And then, was it Zombies next?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, yeah.
So that was for,
Doctor Strange.
yes, Doctor Strange was really good.
Yeah.
And then this was the sixth one. Is that right?
No.
No.
Mm.
We're up
what
to
was-
8. We've only got one episode left.
So what's after Doctor Strange?
It must not have been that good if we don't remember. It must not have been that good. What if...
Thor.
Yes. What if Thor was an only
Oh.
child?
Thor just
Oh, we
going-
missed that one too. We didn't
Thor-
talk about it.
Yep. We did not podcast that time.
Yeah.
But that was like, if Thor was an only child, he just parties his life away and destroys planets while doing it.
We forgot the Killmonger rescuing Tony Stark too.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep. I think that's all of them then. And then
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, I kind of got the feeling like they're going to continue episode 8 into episode 9. Like
I was wondering that too,
I-
because at the end just was so abrupt.
yeah,
in this
because he's
episode.
like, I told you need my help or something like that. And then
Hold on. That was one of the things that has pissed me off about What If, is that each time at the end of these, it seems like it could go to the next one, and it never does. It's a new story
Well,
at the end.
yeah, it's just a glimpse, though. It's,
It's just like what if what if it went this way?
right, like a what if, like even though it was a what if comic series, they didn't lead into one another. It was just a one shot. Here's the story of what if this happened.
I get it. It
This
still
is-
pisses me off though, because I want to see more.
This episode was the only one that I really thought like, oh, they're gonna continue it next week. So I mean,
It could be.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
There's only been like one other episode where I wish they continued it, and I can't remember which one it was now.
I think Doctor Strange is my favorite one. That was my favorite, and my second favorite was the Hank Pym with the Avengers. But this one was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange was like trippy as
Yeah, it was
get
good.
out.
The only one I haven't thought was great was the zombie one, and that's just kind of stupid. You know, it's just stupid in its premise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Superhero zombies. Boo.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. Superheroes can't be undead. That's just retarded.
Well, they were in the Doom Patrol, and I thought it was really funny. So it depends on your use of the zombies, I guess.
I
Right.
think the thing that got me about the zombie one is that the superheroes, when they turned into zombies, they could still use their superpowers. And,
Yeah.
And when you're a zombie, you're kind of brain dead, right? You just brains, you know.
I guess.
And that's the thing that got me. I was like, yeah, what if that happened? But
Yeah, they never really acted like zombies.
No.
Like they were just kind of like ugly versions of their superhero selves. They're like drooling on themselves, and they're wearing dirty clothes.
I'll tell you, the from what we've seen so far, all the animation and the drawing and they're just visually very stimulating.
Mhm.
Like every single episode is just like, wow, like that's crazy. Like these aren't cartoons like when we were a kid.
No,
I mean, they've just come so far. It's just, it's probably all computer generated,
Oh,
most of it, but it's just it's super crazy.
Man, I was watching a video on YouTube, and you know how they show like the little advertisements like before the videos start, and you can say skip ads or whatever. They were showing an animated series or movie, and I can't remember what it's called. It looked spectacular. Like it might be the coolest animation I've ever seen. And I really wish I could remember what the damn thing was called.
That is key.
Yes, it is key.
Hey, I know we're getting close to the end here,
Uh-huh.
so I've got one last plug here. So I read right before I got here that Black Widow and Disney Plus came to a
I
resolution.
saw that.
And they're in Black Widow got a undisclosed amount of money, so they settled it and they figured it out. But just thought I'd plug that real quick because I just saw it.
I bet that was a lot of money.
I bet that was
I
a
bet
lot.
it was going to have to be.
Well, she was saying she lost out on like $50 million. So I don't know if she got that much,
Phew.
but I'm sure it was a boatload.
In Disney's statement, they mentioned that they have multiple projects already lined up with her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
They made amends.
Wow. Yeah, they were going to lose more money in the long run. Just pay her. We're going to make more money off of her anyway.
I mean, she was probably like went in with 50 million, and they were like, "Hey, we'll give you 30," and she was like, "Oh man, yeah, I'll take it."
Deal. Maybe
Yeah.
she realized after she did all that she was a big mistake. Anyway, and now she's thankful. Whew, they're settling.
I tell you, this did not hurt Disney's stocks. They have continued to just go in the right direction. I've noticed that.
Nice.
I've noticed that too.
So, well, I guess it's that time.
What time?
Not big time.
We did that already.
It's skedaddle time.
Skedaddle.
Scoot.
Scoot and skedaddle. Next time
Later.
Ben didn't even say goodbye.
He doesn't care.
Ben doesn't want to say goodbye to the 0 people that are listening right now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. He said it.